Welcome to EDA Reports. My name is Jerry Gordon. I'm the President and CEO of the Fairfax County Economic Development Authority. Our mission is to work with businesses who want to either locate in Fairfax County or stay in Fairfax County as they expand and grow. By doing so, they absorb office space and create a demand for new construction. That new construction contributes to the tax base and enables the Board of Supervisors to provide a wide range of high quality and quantity public services without placing the burden entirely on the back of the residential community. We've used this show over the years to highlight various elements in the business community and the community at large that we include as part of the product that we market to businesses either locally, across the United States, and around the world. One of those things that we use to market is George Mason University, and more specifically, the Honors College at George Mason University. On this segment of EDA Reports, you're going to meet three students who are talking to three interviewers from the business community. You're going to see why the Honors College is so important to our future and why it's important to the businesses in Fairfax County. That's all coming up next.
Welcome back. I'm Robin Finner with the Fairfax County Economic Development Authority, and joining me now is Eric Covey, who is a senior in the George Mason Honors College, and you are majoring in electrical engineering and applied mathematics, correct?
Yes.
Good. So tell me, what exactly is the Honors College?
The Honors College chooses students and then trains them to face the world's surmountable challenges. And that's a broad topic, but the student base that we have is also very broad.
Very good. So what made you decide to enroll in the Honors College here at George Mason?
When I got my acceptance to George Mason University, a couple weeks later, I got accepted into the Honors College. And I was invited to the Honors Celebration of Excellence for all of the admitted students into the Honors College. And at the celebration, I was blown away by the opportunities presented at Mason. For example, Dr. Allagood, who would later become my advisor, noted that I had a lot of math coming in from high school. And she said, "I can get you a job." And I said, "That's fantastic. Where should I sign?"
So what opportunities attracted you to the Honors program, Honors College here at George Mason?
I liked the idea of the living learning community, of being able to live with people who are as driven and as bright as I was, and who were doing interesting things like I wanted to do. And I liked the idea of the curriculum, with smaller class sizes, better professors, better students, and the whole discussion-based idea of learning.
Mm-hmm. So you must have had many choices for college. What made you choose George Mason?
I was choosing between Mason, University of Virginia, and Virginia Tech. And Mason offered the best opportunities for me. So I could jump immediately into doing meaningful research at George Mason. I would not have been able to do that at my other choices.
Correct. So you have engaged in research, and what other opportunities have you taken advantage of while in the college program?
So in my first semester as a freshman, I submitted my resume to the entire engineering department, or every lab. And one of them called me back and said, "You have some experience with this software we need, and you're from the Honors College. So we're going to expect you to be able to work hard, even though you're a freshman and it's your first semester." And in that project, I did search and rescue modeling, where if you're lost, where are you going to go? Where should we tell the search team to look for you so that we can resolve the issue as quickly as possible? Then, at the end of my freshman year, I had taken some math classes that I needed to take, and my advisor pushed me into the Undergraduate Research in Computational Mathematics, or URCM, program. And in that, I spent a year with a professor as the primary investigator on my own research project, where I took a look at historical temperatures, tree rings, and carbon dioxide, and tried to figure out the relationship between how those all fit together. So that I can predict historical temperatures, I can probably predict future temperatures. And then I decided to stay with my research mentor at that project, and we looked at peat bogs, which are great because they hold a lot of carbon dioxide, but the downside is that they can sometimes explode. And so we were looking at what causes the ignition, what happens when you ignite, and how stable is the system as a whole.
When you graduate, you'll finish up this May, and I know we were talking earlier, you mentioned that you were planning to go to graduate school. But when you get ready to work and you're employed, how do you think employers will regard this experience? How do you think they will compare it to that of students who are not in the honors program?
I think they're going to see some key differences. So the Honors College teaches you how to think. It teaches you how to approach a problem from different perspectives, from different viewpoints. Teaches you to weigh the pros and cons of the different viewpoints, and it teaches you to make a decision. And that skill is relevant to any field, be it electrical engineering, English, communications, theater. That skill will be applied everywhere. And that's what the Honors College gives to potential employers.
In terms of fulfilling your goals, beyond just the educational realm, how do you think that will help you?
Well, the Honors College fairly directly influenced some of my goals. So I've had some really good professors here. Then I said, well, I want to do that. And I did some research. I said, okay, if I do research, I'm teaching. That's basically a university professor's job. And the first step towards that is graduate school. So I have the Honors College to thank for that. The second thing that I have to thank the Honors College for is networking. So I never would have known about URCM. I never would have been able to get into my engineering lab without the Honors College. I took a class called Honors 353, which is Technology in the Contemporary World. And every week in the class, we had a different guest. For example, Brian Lamb from C-SPAN was a guest, and as a guest, they were a student in the class for that day, which is a lot different than what you might expect from certain special guests. And through that, you can build a network. You've met people, you are able to connect, and connections is probably the most important thing to getting a job in today's world.
You're absolutely right. Eric, that's about all the time that we have for today. Thank you so much for being here. We wish you well as you continue your education and as you move forward into your career.
Thank you for having us.
Absolutely. And we'll be right back after the break.
There are few places in the world that have a more profound regard for courage, and we have never been shy about putting our reverence on display. Today, this is where the courageous and the duty-bound from around the world come still, not simply to study history, but to make it. In the summer of 2015, Fairfax County, Virginia, and the National Capital Region will welcome humble heroes from communities around the world as it hosts the 2015 World Police and Fire Games. As exciting as they are inspirational, the World Police and Fire Games will attract, celebrate, and honor over 12,000 first responders, representing police and fire departments and other public safety agencies from more than 70 countries to compete in venues across the region. With more athletes than a Summer Olympic Games, the 2015 World Police and Fire Games will be among the world's largest multi-sport competitions, fielding over 60 sporting events spanning over 10 days. Strength will be tested. Character will be revealed. History will be made. But courage will never be questioned. Join us as we celebrate the Games of Heroes, the 2015 World Police and Fire Games.
Hi, I'm Jose Banzon. I'm CMO of White. We're a digital-first marketing agency in Herndon, Virginia. And I'm very pleased to have with us today Joseph Kwarku, who is a 2013 graduate of the George Mason Honors College. Welcome, Joseph. Let's get right into it. Tell us, why did you choose George Mason Honors College?
I think I chose the George Mason Honors College program because it set itself apart in a few different ways. First of all, the approach that I was told about the Honors College was that it was a multidisciplinary approach, which highlighted critical thinking, critical reading across a variety of disciplines, from the humanities to math and science as well. Also, I was really intrigued by the living learning community, which allowed me to embark on the first-year experience with other Honors College students. That was a great selling point, and I think the Honors College did a great point of emphasizing those two things.
What was it like to have that kind of support when you were going through the first and second year?
It was great, especially because the Honors College curriculum was integrated to fulfill my first-year general education requirements. And while I was doing that with like-minded individuals who were just as driven and just as motivated to make the best of their higher learning experience.
Were you considering other options, other universities?
Definitely. I looked at George Mason, of course, JMU, UVA, and William & Mary.
It's quite a list. And did you feel like the Honors College kind of fulfilled the promise?
Definitely. I feel as if I got the best that George Mason had to offer by being a part of the Honors College. I had an experience with the best teachers, with the best students, and the best faculty members as well.
And so tell us about any particular opportunities that came out during the Honors College program that you were able to leverage, either during the program or during your career.
Two opportunities come to mind right away that came about as a result of my affiliation with the Honors College. The first being student government. When I was getting ready to decide my involvement on campus and how I would best help the campus and the Fairfax community in general, I was one of the first Honors College students who decided to embark on student government, to start and to make our impact at Mason felt through that body. And also, I would describe the Honors College as a community of scholars, per se. And that community linked me with other students, which helped me get involved in a research project called the Science of Diversity, looking at diversity at George Mason and its impact on our education and on our administration and otherwise.
That sounds pretty significant. How is that diversity study applicable to what you're doing today?
I would say the totality of the Honors College curriculum and the courses that are offered help teach me some strong research skills, which I've been able to apply at the intellectual property law firm which I'm at today. Those research skills have come in handy when it comes to preparing documents for the USPTO. They've come in handy when it comes to business development and looking to expand into industries that we're not currently in at my law firm. It's been great.
So in terms of working with teams, I mean, it sounds like you worked with a lot of teams and did a lot of collaboration. Has that been applicable to your career today?
Yes, I would say in the Science of Diversity project, we were all divided into teams. Different teams would conduct maps, different teams would conduct surveys and interviews and such. And it definitely helped me find defined roles and how to to best work within a defined role, even though it may not be the highlighted portion or what is out front and best looking.
Cool. So what's next for you, Joseph? Like, what do you have planned next in your career?
Hopefully law school after this will be my next step. And after law school, I'm anticipating becoming an attorney for international human rights or international criminal law.
That's excellent. Well, that's all the time we have. Thank you for joining us today.
Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
Please stay tuned. We'll be right back after the break.
Fairfax County puts you in touch with your government 24/7 with mobile applications made for the iPhone, Android, or BlackBerry. With the touch of your fingertip, you can call the main information number or any government office that you need to reach. When you're on the go, GPS mapping can help you find government facilities, including libraries and parks. Alerts connects you to breaking news, weather forecasts, and other emergency information. See what's happening in your community on county YouTube channels, Facebook pages, and other social media platforms. New features and tools will keep you and your phone up to date. Link to transportation sites for information whether you're walking, biking, driving, or riding. Search and you will find out why Fairfax County won the Governor's Technology Award for Innovation in Local Government. Download Fairfax County's mobile application and get connected today.
Hi, I'm Suresh Shenoy with Information Management Consultants in Reston, Virginia, and I'm here today with Samin Yusuf, who is a sophomore in the Honors College at George Mason University. Hello, Samin.
Hello, Suresh.
So, what brought you to the Honors College at George Mason?
When I was deciding what school I wanted to go to after I graduated from high school, I was really looking for a school and program specifically that would emphasize multiple perspectives in research, as well as having a really strong faculty that supported you not only inside the classroom but also outside of the classroom. So that's essentially the main reason that I decided to come to Mason's Honors College.
So I'm sure you must have had a lot of other choices. So what made you choose George Mason and the honors program?
So aside from those points, I was really looking for a program that would help nurture, multiple parts of my person. And one of the things that I was really interested in was how could I combine my love for global health development and engineering. And that's what I really found at Mason's Honors College. Through some of the contacts that I made with the faculty in the Honors College, I ended up meeting a professor in the bioengineering department as a freshman who was interested in working with me. And what we decided to kind of focus on was global health, since there weren't several projects focusing on that yet. And I found that through some reading and things like that, I was really interested in maternal and neonatal health. And I learned that one of the top reasons that the mortality rate for children under the age of 5 is so high is because of lower respiratory infections. And with that, to deal with lower respiratory infections, there's a need for oxygen concentrators, which are basically machines that take in oxygen and they take in air, and output oxygen. And so in the developing world, they might have access to these machines, but they don't actually work properly. So I wanted to design a device that essentially could check the concentration from these machines and help monitor these machines and make it easier for doctors and clinicians to manage oxygen therapy. So I've been working on something like that now, and it's been really great with the Honors College helping me with this.
That's really cool. So in bioengineering, what kind of research opportunities are you seeing besides what you're doing, and where is that leading you to?
I think that this has been my primary project with the oxygen analyzers, and essentially I've been using this as a way to integrate the multiple areas that I'm interested in, from global health to collaborating with others and being interdisciplinary as well as engineering. So that's kind of one of the main opportunities that I've been pursuing at Mason.
So when you're done with college, do you see the Honors College program helping you to set yourself apart from the rest of the graduates? Or
Definitely. I think that one of the major parts of the Honors College program is that they present opportunities not only for you to explore different classes, but also scholarships and fellowships. I've worked extensively with the Office of Scholarships and Fellowships, so I'm consistently, being introduced to opportunities like the Critical Language Scholarship and the Boren Fellowships and scholarships as well. And I think that, since the Honors College emphasizes being aware of contemporary issues, I've been exposed to topics and discussions that I normally wouldn't as an engineering student. For example, last semester I took a class called Contemporary Societies and Multiple Perspectives, and the focus of that class was HIV and AIDS and its relationship with culture. And honestly, it was my favorite class that I've taken so far because it helps set me apart as a student, and once I graduate, because I'll have that experience of understanding how diseases are influenced by the cultures that we live in, and accordingly I have to approach those from different perspectives as an engineering student or engineer in general. So I think that's really been influential, and I think that it will help me distinguish myself when I enter the job market.
That's terrific. So did you consider any other colleges before settling down at George Mason?
I definitely did. I was also considering George Washington University and University of Maryland College Park, and I was accepted into their honors colleges as well, but I found that with George Mason's honors college, I really felt like everyone that I met in the faculty and also the students they genuinely believed in me. I could feel that everyone that I met was passionate about something, one or another, but they also knew that what I was working towards I could actually achieve, and I really wanted that in a college.
Oh, that's terrific. So what's next for you?
I honestly see myself pursuing some graduate opportunities, especially a PhD program in engineering, and afterwards I see myself doing either research or working towards mostly global health development from an engineering perspective.
Thank you, Samin. That was wonderful. That was very enlightening. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Well, that's all the time we have. And now here's back to Jerry Gordon with some final thoughts.
Thank you for joining us today on EDA Reports. I hope you have been as impressed with these students as I have been. The Honors College students from George Mason University represent our future. They are the best and brightest, and it is they who will move forward our business community into the future. For further information about the Economic Development Authority and its services, please visit our website at www.fairfaxcountyeda.org. And for more information about the Honors College at George Mason University, please visit their website as well.